Latvia!
Latvia!
Yeah, go! Latvia! Latvia! Latvia!
Bam, bam, bam. Look. Ko? Nē, čau. start without us.
Aiziet, vīri, ja? Aiziet. Aiziet.
All right, good. Precision beats power, timing beats speed. All right, good.
The stage is set. Final day, group play here in Ostrava, and what a matchup. A rematch of the bronze medal that needed overtime last year, a game that Latvia won, beating Team USA. There was a national holiday in Latvia, Riga. It was a party that was unbelievable. The United States, just one player returning though from that squad. It's Mikey Asimon as they look to get a little bit of revenge. Brock Nelson tied for the all-time goal-scoring lead for an American player here at the World Hockey Championship. One more, and he will certainly stand alone. The Americans, a couple stumbles in their group play. They lost to Sweden, they lost to Slovakia, but they've really found their game over the last few contests. Your referees for the game from Finland and Sweden. The men running the lines from Germany, as the captains will come out, Brady Tkachuk, and what a tournament for Kasper Zdagovic. The former Ottawa Senator will meet the current Ottawa Senator captain right there at center ice. Zdagovic, he's been clutch. 4 goals, 6 points, 2 of them OT winners. And what a game it was for Harris Vitolins, the head coach, and his team. The shootout win over Slovakia. They needed that day off. They took it. Back on the ice today, and they have to win to get back to the quarterfinals. There's no other choice. The head coach for Team USA, John Hines, just finishing his 2nd season with the Wild. He's been to the Worlds before, and he's chasing after this country's just 2nd gold medal all time. They know they're into the quarterfinals. They've clinched a spot. The question is, who will they play? Star players, you're looking at one. Matt Boldy, my goodness, what a tournament. Leads the entire tournament in scoring with 12 points. He's got 5 goals. He's got 7 assists, coming off a career high 29 goals in the NHL with the Wild. This guy was unbelievable. He starts again. Kristers Gudlevskis made 41 saves in that win in the shootout versus Slovakia. He had to go to the hospital, lost about 17 pounds after that game. Welcome to the tournament, Charlie Lindgren. His tournament debut for USA. He joins the team, unfortunately, injury to Alex Lyon. Lyon has to go back home. Lindgren starts. Zdagovic will back up. Rematch bronze medal game. We're underway. The 2nd of 3 from Ostrava today. Giannis Yaks plays it away from Johnny Gaudreau, who is now the king of scoring all time, as he passed Showtime himself, Patrick Kane, for the most points in history for USA at the World Hockey Championship. There's Zdagovic. He'll sling it in the zone. Werenski, 2nd in ice time of all players in this tournament. 2nd only Roman Josi thus far. Play to his D partner Seth Jones, and Latvia chips that to center. Matt Boldy brings it in quickly with some speed. He'll stop. Boldy out there with Tkachuk. 6 goals for Tkachuk. He's got the puck. Centers wanted Boldy up top. Sanderson's driving. He missed high and wide. Boldy in the corner. Tkachuk, 6 goals in the tournament right now. That's tied for the tournament lead with a couple of players. And that will deflect out of play. Brian Engblom, what an atmosphere. We can't wait.
The U.S. is happy they're playing Latvia because the atmosphere will be great. The fans are going crazy already. They're going to treat this as a medal round mentality game, and they should. They got to play hard. And for Latvia, yeah, you talked about Gudlevskis. What a performance he had. 15, 16, 17 pounds. He lost dehydration, full body cramping, spent the night in the hospital, and he's back in the net.
Tkachuk, a couple chances there, right in the slot area. Couldn't get it through. Jake Sanderson pitching in to the line. Tkachuk in the glove. Gudlevskis, 6'4", 214 pounds, a .920 save percentage coming in. He's allowed just 6 goals on 75 shots in this tournament.
They got to get in his face and make it tough for him. And the Latvians will play hard. This could be a real in-your-face, real rugged game. And for the U.S.'s sake, I think the coaching staff maybe hopes that it is. Get in that mentality right now. They won their last game 10-1 over Kazakhstan. They got to get back into that mentality of fighting for everything.
Boldy put up 6 points in that game. Gaudreau broke the record. Nelson tied the goal-scoring record. But now the focus is the team focus, trying to play for the country on the front, not for the name on the back, as Caufield drops. Tkachuk, wrist shot, score! seventh goal. Brady Tkachuk, a rocket upstairs, and it's 1-0.
What a beautiful delivery here on this shot by Brady Tkachuk. He comes in cruise control because Caufield had backed the defense off the blue line. He's looking into the middle of the ice. Watch Tkachuk when he gets the puck. His eyes are in the middle, and then just at the last second, boom. And he pulls it from way behind his left foot. And when you do that, the goaltender never gets a good look. Then watch how quickly, this is in slow-mo, but see, he's looking in the middle, and then whoop, he just rips this shot. And he pushed the defense back so far, they were afraid to go after him, afraid of the cutback into the middle. He's past the top of the circle. Goodlewski's needs some more support than that, and the U.S. is up 1-0, and the captain does it again.
Tkachuk, Caufield, Pinto. What a line they've turned into for Team USA. Caufield telling our Claire Hanna earlier in the tournament that it's a lot more fun, Caufield said, to play with those Ottawa Senators than it is to go up against them. Pinto and Tkachuk. Nice setup from Caufield. He'll get an assist. In comes Hayes on the forecheck. Trollmax in his own zone. So 1-0 on him 2 minutes in. You know, Latvia's crowd, the drums are here, the fans are here. For the United States, what a great start.
It's a stunner, and Brady Tkachuk gets it started again. He has done it before in games in the tournament, usually from going to the front of the net. He never even got that far. Beautiful job here by Caufield. Caufield's so dynamic, he puts a lot of fear in defenders, so when he takes a line, he allowed Tkachuk time and room to get penetration.
Caufield, the shooter, has become a real nice passer back home in the National Hockey League for the Montreal Canadiens. Set a career high for assists this year. His goals were down with 28, but Caufield, as Marty St. Louis talked about many times throughout the season in the NHL, a 200-foot player, a more complete player, and Cole Caufield rounding out into a star in Montreal. Gavin Brindley on the forecheck for USA. To the line, a Bulls puck behind him. Krastensbergs will pick it up. Krastensbergs pressured by Eyssimont. Mikey Eyssimont, the only returning player. He knows that devastating loss in the bronze medal game for his nation. He's the only returning guy. In front, Eyssimont on cue, jamming. And Goslevsky stops it, scored, jammed in. Gavin Brindley, the youngster, his second in the tournament, 2-0.
Talk about killer instinct here. The U.S. is ready. They were not going to give up until this is in the back of the net. Give Gavin Brindley a lot of credit here, but the U.S. is on it. And really bad coverage by the Latvians. They are disjointed. They're in a bit of shock right now. First goal scored on a rush. Second one, Eyssimont pounds away, 3 times, maybe 4. Keeps it alive. You need more help than that for your goaltender. And Brindley sees it open. The goaltender doesn't know it's there. And right away, Goodlewski's is looking over his shoulder at the referees like, hey, come on, where was the whistle there? Referees, as a matter of fact, are over at the bench, the Latvian bench, that is. They did get a lot of whacks at it. I gotta say that. The U.S. were able to keep poking away there.
Team Latvia request coach's challenge, goal interference.
Okay, so this is this fine line we saw in this last game. How many whacks do you get at it when you miss the puck? Last game, it ended up goaltender interference because there was a loose puck. But the player did not hit the loose puck. He ended up hitting the pad of the goaltender, and so they called it goaltender interference. That's Mikey Eyssimont, and that's what Mikey Eyssimont does. He gets into the blue paint. He loosens it up. Goodlewski looks over his shoulder right away and goes, hey, where's the whistle? What's going on here? Okay, there's one. It's still loose. It's still loose. Now he's got a glove on it. And he gets his stick blade underneath the glove. So this is different than the last one. He's not pushing the pad open that I could see. You know what? The referees would have negated all this if they had blown the whistle, quite frankly. Right here, he seems to have enough control, and he has his hand right over top of it. But I guess the referee could see it from the side. He was right over the net. Eyssimont deserves, if they're going to get it, Eyssimont will deserve this assist just by not giving up. Goodlewski can't find it. To be honest with you, I don't know about this one. I think it can stand because if you're not going to blow the whistle, you have to give him the right to go in there and battle for the puck.
From everything we saw in that replay, Eyssimont did everything right. He followed the puck in. It was available. He didn't poke the pad.
Right.
And from what we saw, it was never truly frozen, and that's up to the referees to blow that dead. They didn't. Puck was available. And to your point, and you illustrated it very well, in the last game, it was a push on the pad that moved the goalie.
Because he missed the puck.
Big difference, yes.
He missed the puck, and he hit the pad. That didn't happen this time. So having said all that, too, the Latvian defense should have been all over Mikey Eyssimont. I mean, somebody should have steamrolled him right out of there, stick on stick, and then just bulldoze him out of there. Not easy to do. Mikey Eyssimont sticks his nose in all the time.
Our first game that challenged was Germany-France. France challenged. They were successful as the pad was actually moved enough, and they determined that that resulted in the goalie not able to make the save. However, this time around, one more look here, Brian.
You can go into the crease after the puck, and it definitely was a loose puck. Now, the question is right there. Right there. See, he has it underneath, but maybe it's more underneath his blocker than it is underneath his catching glove. Eyssimont, either way, is able to loosen it.
But I guess the question is, Brian, is any of that goaltender interference?
Right.
It's more the whistle wasn't blown. I don't see any goalie interference there. Do you?
That's true. I agree, although you could argue it's interference on his glove, trying to freeze it.
After video review, the call on the ice overturned, no goal.
Okay, that's probably what they saw.
Yeah.
And that's a good point by you. Maybe the interference was on that glove, the poking, and he couldn't freeze it. I mean, they had to come up with some sort of assessment.
Look, if they're honest, if I'm that referee looking at that, I'm going to look and say, I should have blown that whistle when he had the glove on top of it. So that might be in the back of his mind, too. Okay, negated.
So Harris Villains and the coaching staff, a good challenge. No goal for Brindley, and still one in the USA. Zila back for Latvia. Bukarts. That's Roberts Bukarts, one of the Bukarts brothers. Rehards wears number 13 for Latvia. Zirkles for Botna, behind the net, centering feed right to Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau at center, he'll fire it in. Boldy in the corner, he let it go. Bukarts will chip to center. And the player that you highlighted off the top of our broadcast, there's Luke Hughes. Johnny Gaudreau couldn't handle the pass. Bukarts swings it in, good stuff, rebound in front. Oh, good chance, Mellis, and welcome to the tournament, Charlie Lindgren, as he'll squeeze that.
And they tested him to see if he was paying attention. This shot from the corner stunned me, and it very nearly got in. He's almost at the goal line, and he throws it at the net. Charlie's ready. He got that shoulder up just in time and just enough to make the save, but it caused a rebound out in front, and Latvia trying to get themselves back in the game here, down by one, nearly got it in.
Lindgren, outstanding season in Washington, 25 wins, 911 save percentage, and 6 shutouts in 50 games were tied for the NHL lead in that department. So career highs for him across the board, and a chance to represent his country. That injury to Alex Lyon, unfortunately, earlier in the tournament. Here's Bukarts. He'll cut in. Rehards Bukarts in the corner, stops, goes to the line. Giannis Yox fires, and Lindgren will stop that. The 30-year-old from Lakefield, Minnesota.
Right-handed catching goaltender. Gives him a chance to get settled in, make a couple of saves. That first shoulder save from the corner, nice. This shot from the point, nice. Yeah, 25 wins on the season out of 50 games.
Traubach's off the draw. That hit a body in front. Never got through. Puck to the left of Lindgren. Flip to center. There's Trevor Zegras. Zegras on the forecheck. Played back to center. Traubach's lone man in for Latvia. They'll stop in the corner. Got checked by Seth Jones. Nice little pass. Frees up Farabee. Joel Farabee with Zegras to the right side. Jones in deep. Round for Kevin Hayes. Hayes is looking short side and zipped it right through the crease. Farabee will hold it in. Zegras in the corner. Zegras has Werenski cutting in, and a good stick knocked away. Traubach's broke that up. Shot from Verby right on, and Guzlevs gets the save. Oskar Sibalskis to center. He's going to start a change. Tralmax digs it free, back to Momcic. Roberts Momcic, 2 goals in the tournament here for Latvia in his 3rd World Championship, and he was part of that bronze medal team. A lot of returning players from 1 year ago. Dagovic, the captain. He'll bring it in. Former Ottawa Senator, Boston Bruin, Kasper Dagovic. Nelson for Boldy. Finds Gaudreau. Gaudreau, Nelson. Deking in with the puck. He got pushed down. Behind the net, Gaudreau slashed away from him up to Sanderson. That wrist shot, stick save. Into the corner goes. Krasensberg gets hit by Luke Hughes. And Latvia able to get it to center.
Latvia is not a smooth team, not by any means. They're kind of a herky-jerky style of play. They get most of their offense from their top guys, but they can be rough. This game could be one big hit away or one scrum and punch in the head after the whistle away from going up on 2 wheels.
Bughart's shot. It's a good drive there by Choksta. The blue liner brought it in. Carles Choksta off the boards. Giannis Jaks works it back in for Latvia. Jaks again. Knuckler, and a good stop. Lindgren was ready. Asamon. The backhand. Luke Cunnin over the line. His wrist shot off the stick of Jaks. And out of play. Nearly 7 minutes gone in this first period. And Brady Tkachuk has his 7th.
Big Walt will be proud of his boy. 7 goals already in this tournament. He has been a terrific leader and what a producer on the ice. Right at the top, the leader in scoring in the entire tournament.
He was pretty riled up, that overtime loss after the game versus Slovakia. But my goodness, that really was the turning point for USA. One of John Hines' quotes to Claire Hanna, play for the name on the back. The jersey obviously is your name jersey, but play for the country on the front. And that's what these players have done. The Pintos, the Caufields, the Tkachuks, the Sandersons, they have played for Team USA, and it's been a real pleasure to watch how they come together here. Caufield up top, that drive, Werenski right on. Caufield steals in front. Cole Caufield, great work on the forecheck, and Cole Caufield draws a penalty.
U.S. getting after it. They're getting in on the attack, and that's what they do best, and they're going to draw a lot of penalties when you do that. Richard Bughart's hooking penalty in behind the net. Cole Caufield changes direction so many times, got such quick feet. He draws so many penalties. The U.S. team has several guys that can do that, and if Latvia keeps getting penalties, that power play for the U.S. will get a workout, and it's at 30%, 3rd overall already.
6 for 20. They get a chance again. One-time try, Boldy just high over the net. Boldy has been a star for the United States in this tournament. Even the games where maybe the United States didn't bring their best, Sweden, Slovakia, Boldy has been a factor in each and every game so far. Werenski through center. Here's Tkachuk. Werenski in, shoots, and Guzlevski's got enough, kept it out.
Yeah, the power play started to get really well last game, and they They smoked Kazakhstan 10-1, and they had the puck all night long, and guys just started ripping it at the net and making some plays. Gudlevsky's trying to fight that one off. Be interesting to see Gudlevsky, who is a big man. We already talked about his body cramping and everything last game that went to a shootout. This is a false start. How long can he hang in there? Will he end up going down that road again? When you're in the hospital all night long and getting rehydrated, fatigue level will be a factor. It is warm in this building. Not as warm as yesterday, though, I don't think. So maybe that'll help it.
Also 3 games in the building today as we wrap up group play. This is the second game of 3. Later tonight, it's Slovakia and Sweden, and that'll close things out in our group. Minute 25 to go in the power play. Werenski for Boldy. Boldy, wrist shot wide, and Gaudreau couldn't pick it up. Comes to Werenski for Johnny Gaudreau. Zach Werenski delivers in front, rebound. Boldy trying to follow up, and a good clear down the ice by Martin Sirkles.
Not messing around the power play, though. That's a good sign. When you have big number 7 in front of the net, you might as well get pucks there. You don't have to move the puck around too many times to see that he's there.
Latvia, the 8th ranked penalty kill in the tournament, is Brock Nelson. Round for Shane Pinto. Pinto starts the play. Out for Hughes. Here's Zegras. Luke Hughes. Nelson. Pinto. Couldn't get the shot off. Cleared down the ice and a little bit of space. In comes Stramax, but there's no help, so he'll just delay, kill off some more time. Zegras stops, protects the puck. 25 seconds left in the minor penalty. Hughes, wrist shot. Puck in the middle. Pinto followed up, and again, Gudlevskis with 3 career National Hockey League games to his credit with Tampa Bay will make the stop.
There's the battle level starting in front of the net now. Latvians know what they're up against. There's going to be a net front presence all night long, and I'm sure there's been talk on their bench about you better clear these guys out. Conversations after the fact. This will just escalate more and more. It'll be about who takes the penalties after these things happen. That'll make the difference. USA has an advantage in that department for sure. Latvia's got to get a better power play. They're 1 for 17.
USA allowing just the 2 goals over the last 3 games. They put up 19 in those 3 games. Of course, 10 coming against Kazakhstan. It was not a close game. But they've tightened things up a little bit. Better defensive play. The goalies have been sharp. Young 19-year-old Trey Augustine has seen some action at this championship. Youngest goalie ever for Team USA. 5-on-5 hockey, so it's 1-0. A good kill from Latvia. Rodrigo Abols taken down as he was trying to drive play in. Abols, 2 goals, 4 points for Latvia in this championship.
He's a good player, center iceman. He was on the top line. They started to change it up a little bit. They get good success from Abols, Dogevens, and Krastenberg.
Introstas nearly took that away, but Sanderson recovers. Pass intended for Gavin Brindley. He couldn't touch it. It is loud in here, and these fans in Europe, they whistle. Sometimes whistles are hard to hear. Icings are hard to hear.
Yeah.
I can't hear on a good day anyways, Brian, so, but it is a ton of fun, the atmosphere in Ostrava Arena.
Sometimes I think, the whistle's gone. Was that offside or whatever, and they keep going, and it was just somebody in the crowd.
10:26 to go, first period. Shots 12-4 in favor of the United States. Just 1 goal from Tkachuk. Jake Sanderson from his own zone to center. Asamont couldn't advance it any further. Given away though, and shot in by Michael Kesselring. Kesselring's had a nice tournament. His first ever international experience for USA. He's got a couple of goals. Did a wonderful interview with our Claire Hanna, just talking about, growing up, he was kind of always on the outside a little bit, looking in on the top teams, and he says, what a thrill this is. And right on cue, what a good look. He brought it to that right side and nearly sniped another one.
He's not shy from the blue line in the offensive zone. That's where he scored his goals.
Asamont, a bit of a knuckler, and Cunnin got dumped after the play.
Here we go, and this would probably be the line that would start doing it, especially when Asamont is out there. This is one of his specialties. He draws a lot of penalties. Sometimes he takes them, but getting in people's face and the scrums, that when you start to try to push him out of there, he's not the only one. The U.S. are definitely going to be involved.
you got to think that that kind of like sandpaper might favor Latvia. USA actually one of the most disciplined teams in the entire tournament. And we got so offsetting here. Zirkos and Cunnin, but the USA's done a good job with their discipline so far.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't go to the penalty box much. They pick their spots. There have been times in this tournament, especially early, where they let a ton of stuff go. I mean, I couldn't believe some of the non-calls that happened in scrums afterwards. Guys getting punched in the head and whatever. They have clamped down over the last 3 days. But the first couple of days, it was crazy out there. I kind of liked it though.
That shot just wide off the face-off win. Hayes is the second best face-off guy in the entire tournament. He's clicking around 70%. Kachuk's right behind him, around 68% at third, but Hayes done a wonderful job for the Americans in the face-off dot. Kamals, Bill fired in, right to Lindgren. Lindgren for Seth Jones. Spinning drive from Gravas, never got through. Werenski behind his net, under some pressure from Trollbox, and a good turnover. Puck in the slot, but it's picked up by Jones. He'll backhand it up for Farabee. Zila hits Farabee. Farabee hits him right back in the corner. Here's Hughes at center, trying to get it to Zegras. And brought in offside. Zegras a little shot after the whistle. Again, hard to hear a whistle. 1-0 USA. Brady Tkachuk has the goal. It was such an energetic, dynamic, exciting win the last game. Latvia beating Slovakia in the shootout. It kept their hopes alive to get back to the podium, but they have to beat USA in regulation, and then they need a regulation loss tonight by Slovakia versus Sweden. So Latvia's alive, but they got to work hard here, and they're going to need some big-time help. But you know what? What more can you ask for? On the final day, you still got a shot. Brock Nelson in his own zone. He'll chip it up the ice, and we already know it will be Sweden-Finland in one quarterfinal game. Everything else will get a little more clear as the day goes on here. Boldy over the line. Nelson in shot, and that low drive stopped by Gudslevskis. In front again, Johnny Gaudreau, great stop, Gudslevskis. The right pad again.
Those quick plays from the corner to the front of the net, Latvia just not ready for them.
Boldy for Nelson. Nelson, bad on the shot. Boldy got upended back at the blue line. Sanderson pitching in. Gaudreau plays it behind the net. USA changing. It's up for Krasensburgs. He got spun around by Caufield. Pomchich throws. Oh, a good screen, and that Botna whack. That upsets Big Vlasic because Lindgren had it, and then Botna that late swing.
Yeah, Botna will definitely go there. They need some more of that. Latvia hasn't had the puck much, hasn't been able to go north. They've had to kill off a couple of penalties. The U.S., last time out, again, really poor coverage. And a good chance. Gudlevski is doing a nice job. Not a lot of room to work with. Johnny Gaudreau thought he had it on the short side. He did for a second. Gudlevski's fooled him with that blocker. And then here we go after the fact again. Like I said, it's one punch in the head away, one big hit away from going sideways.
Well, that was a great challenge for Latvia to keep it a 1-0 game because USA, I mean, they came out guns a-blazing. They're still carrying momentum here, but a little different story as Botna again reaching for it. You keep it within 1 for Latvia, that's a win. The longer you can go in the game, keeping it a 1-0 game. Here's a good shot. Caufield just over his stick of the blue line. Botna back. Indrasis. They'll skate it in. Indrasis, rich shot, hit a leg and went wide as Jeff Petrie shoves him. Puck behind the net. The veteran, Jeff Petrie for Kachuk. To the right side, Caufield. Bo Caufield in front, just missed Kachuk's stick there. Pass in front, backhand try, oh, what a goal! Zach Werenski up top, 2-0, USA.
Latvia's puck watching big time here, and Zach Werenski makes him pay. Cole Caufield with the puck out of the corner, coming back up towards the ice, towards the center ice. Werenski going in the opposite direction. Caufield on the move. Werenski is going to come down right through the middle of the ice. No white jerseys anywhere near number 8. Beautiful little move to the back end. Gudlevskis tries to fight him off. But Werenski has so much time and room, he can make the move far enough out that he has time to elevate it and get it over the glove and get it up in the upper portion of the net. And that was because there was no coverage in the slot.
Werenski's favorite player growing up, Ryan, Pavel Zatsuk. And those were Datsuk hands right there in front of the net. That was real nice. Another assist for Caufield. 2-0 USA. Trollbacks, wrist shot, band on it. Ryan Leonard able to steer that out of the way. Leonard took a big body check there. Physical game brewing here in this first as Galvas hit him. Already 4 medals internationally for Ryan Leonard, and he had the golden goal at a U18 tournament for USA 2 years ago in Switzerland. He was on a line with Will Smith and Gabe Perreault, and then they played together at Boston College, nearly won an NCAA title together. They lost to Denver 2-0 in that final. But outside of pro hockey, that was one of the best lines going for a while. And here's a look at the goal again.
Yep. Retrieval in the corner, keeping the puck, so much movement, and then Werenski getting involved. D-men moving in from the point. They get a lot of chances, especially on the big ice surface, because everybody defends. You tend to sag back deep in your own end, below the top of the circle, and that allows guys with skill to move in like Werenski to get some great chances.
Rodrigo Abols brings it in for Latvia. He's watched by Hughes. Abols needs the point. Up top, Como shot in and out of the glove, and Krasensburg's couldn't get there. Another drive, and that was stopped by Lindgren. Lindgren one more time to Moles, and Lindgren answers the call. Now 6 shots for Latvia. Sanderson in his own zone. Latvia changing, and Hughes sees that the Americans want to change too, so he'll accommodate that.
Latvia gets a little bit of production from their D-core. They've got 5 goals and 5 assists for 10 points. But that's not even half of what the Americans have. 25 points from their D-men.
Gaudreau in front, and good pass for Kesselring. He has not been shy about getting up with the play, to your point, Brian. He scooted it again from the blue line for a pretty good chance. Now wrist shot from Botna off the stick and out of play. 4:49 to go. What a goal for Werenski to make it 2-0.
So with that last goal from the U.S. by Werenski, that makes 6 goals and 20 assists, or 26 points for the U.S. D-men. That's only one behind the Swedes, who have 9 goals and 27 points from their guys, and they play our game after this. They'll be looking to add to that.
That Romagnosi guy is pretty good for Switzerland. And you know what? Selfishly, I'm excited that that team's coming over here for a quarterfinal. It'll be great to watch that Swiss team. And I mean, Romagnosi's must-see TV. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The quarterfinals here, and the other 2 to come in Prague as well. And lots to be cleaned up, though. Final day and night of group play. Janis Jaks in center as Kessering blew it. Tyre Jaks trying to break in, and good job Vlasic cleaned it up off the glass to center. Boldy in for Gaudreau, and then Drosses took it away. If there's a 4th or 5th medal kicking around, they should hand it to the Latvian drummer. Nelson in, lost the puck.
Sounds like he got a lot of sleep.
He has not slowed down the tempo or the pace. There might be more than one, but my goodness. The atmosphere the Latvians provide, it is special. They love their team, they love hockey. It's part of this experience too, getting to meet a few of them at local restaurants and pubs here in Ostrava. They're so passionate about the game. They're realistic about their team's chances, but the passion is unbelievable. Abul's little flip and bump as he keeps on moving. We fired in there by Marcus Kamols. Here's Werenski, who has the 2-0 goal. Under 4 to go in the first. Seth Jones walks it in. Jones hit by Momcic. Kachuk around the wall, but nobody far point as Sanderson collects. To his Ottawa Senator teammate, Pinto, and he'll backhand it in. Lars Krasensbergs from center ice for Latvia. Kachuk took him out of the play, nearly put him into the bench. Bukarts, nice little dish. Zirkles, but no, the shot just wide. Caufield with Hayes the other way. Caufield end of a shift, so he'll start a change.
Luke Hughes and Sanderson play together a fair amount. They're both lefties, and they also interchange a fair amount. They get a little crossed up on that last shift. Sometimes we see Sanderson on the right, sometimes we see Hughes on the right, and then if they come out with different partners, sometimes that changes it as well. And something to keep an eye on here.
Well, we know Bill Guerin and Mike Sullivan, the new head coach announced for Four Nations Cup and the Olympics, are here. They are watching. And when, you know, you got great defensemen to choose from, left shot, right shot, and if you can play that offside, it's so valuable.
Take the best players.
Zegras across Hayes. Centering feed up top. Petrie bomb, and the rebound just cleared into the corner. Good save, Gudslevskis. Indrasas behind the net, tried to center. Mikey Asimont collects for the USA, flips just out of the reach of Luke Gunning. The Mouse spins away from Gunning, and he'll set up behind Gudslevskis. Elvis Merzlikins is the backup. And last year, Arthur Seeloffs, he was the MVP goalie in helping them win that bronze, and he was just knocked out of the NHL playoffs, the Vancouver Canucks. Oilers moving on.
Yeah, what a game that must have been. We'd love to have seen that one.
But Seeloffs, he was incredible in the playoffs and incredible at this championship last year. Momcic takes it wide for Latvia. And if you have time, go to YouTube and check out the video party in Riga, Latvia. It was a national holiday in the country when they won that bronze. Unbelievable stuff. Final minute, that drive right on and steered aside. Good push by Alavian, seeing some more time. Martin Alavian, just his second game of this tournament.
Latvia's not getting much of a look at the scoring zone in the U.S. end.
45 seconds left. The steal brought back in, and Lindgren's going to settle it down. Face off in USA territory, and the sandpaper stuff continues here after whistles. We could tell you Canada, Czechia, 0-0 after 20 minutes. Pasternak has joined, which is exciting because all we've seen is Pasternak billboards around all of Ostrava, whether it's for this tournament or other things, but Pasta's in town. He's in Prague. That's pretty cool for the tournament for Czechia.
Yeah, men's clothing stores, his picture's up everywhere, yeah.
He is a star off the draw. Good block there by Boldy. 35 seconds to go. And that's for top spot in the group over there, Czechia, Canada.
That'll kind of change their power play, huh? Having him on it.
What a player. Boldy cutting in, and again, couldn't hear the whistle. And it's a...
More confrontation. See, this is what I was talking about. You just know, because Latvia's edgy. They are a very edgy team. They have no problem with this. We've seen it a couple of times in this tournament.
Werenski's going to go to the box.
And the U.S. not going to be shy about it either. Zach Werenski gone. Sticks her up a little bit. There's a little cross check. There's another one. Oh, you know what? That was Zila going down. Maybe he caught him off balance a little. I don't know about that. But I think he felt it and went down too. But hey, it's a smart play.
And a great chance. 22.8 to go for Latvia. Sweden, Finland, USA, the only teams in the tournament, Brian, yet to allow a power play goal.
Face-offs will be key. The top 8 guys in face-offs in the entire tournament are all NHL players.
That one's went back to Janis Jaks. And Dogovic got dropped right at the face-off dot. He's still not up, and he's not happy.
Well, you've got to get an advantage, right? Work the linesman. Whether it falls on deaf ears or not is a different thing, but you got to try and get every advantage you can in face-offs.
So Dogovic, Nelson, one more time to the right of Charlie Lindgren. 22.1 to go.
I always heard Patrice Bergeron, who was a machine in the face-off circle. I asked guys who are against him, they said he's always the nicest guy to the linesman. He works them nicely all the time. That's how he got his advantage. Plus, he was so darn good.
Dominating that Selke trophy every single year, it seemed like. And congratulations, Barkov winning it this year.
That's right, absolutely. Terrific two-way player. Just sometimes tough to overcome that reputation of Patrice Bergeron over the years, but he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, what, him and Bob Gainey over the years, and again, this face-off. Are they going to toss them both?
No, I think they're saying he played it with his hand. That's what I saw from the linesman. Yeah,
so he'll get the penalty. Well, I actually thought they were both going to be tossed out, but he's really getting tossed to the box. Delay a game, all right. you were actually right, Brian. By tossed, I thought tossed out of the face-off dot.
So we're going to go at the other end of the ice after he gets called on that. He was cranky after the first one. Do you think he's happy now? So we've got 57 seconds left in the penalty to Werenski. 157. Those numbers are so small in there.
Brian,
they are.
It's been a long tournament.
No, but just look at them.
And they are pretty small.
I can see the score. That's a good one.
2-0 USA. I got you, partner.
Okay. We're all in this alone, right?
We'll finish this up 4-on-4. This first period, 19.1 to go.
Even the little details of the game, the face-offs, the arguing, the after the whistle stuff. This one's going to be a battle right to the end.
And no one's cheering harder for USA right now than Slovakia. Because if Latvia can't win this thing in regulation, Slovakia is going to the quarterfinals. And then games tonight will basically just be fine-tuning Sweden and Slovakia.
And now they got 2 minutes. They adjusted the clock on Werenski, so
they're both
back to 2 minutes.
That's interesting. All right, so play continues. So you caught that one, Brian. Good for you. Your eyes caught that. Zirkles in his own zone. There's 10 seconds left in the period. 2-0 USA. Brock Nelson. They got to push quick for one last chance here. At the line, Hughes hit by Janis Jaks. And the horn goes right before that shot opportunity. And then a shot after by Partas Choksta.
Still pushing and shoving. Yeah, this is going to be a game. It's going to be an in-your-face game from start to finish. Not going to be a lot of pretty goals, probably. Net front stuff and power plays, perhaps.
USA could finish as high as second or as low as fourth in the group, but a great start. 2-0 on Latvia. Intermission next with Mark Rowe.
After video review, the call on the ice overturned, no goal. Goal interference.
Hi, have a good one.
Ready? Good luck. From the beginning, boys, let's go. 1, 2, 3, team. Yes, boys, let's go. Stay. Rodrigo, stick down, hold them still. Here we go. Want a challenge? Challenge, goal interference. Thank you. Coach's challenge, goal interference.
Okay.
Yep.
After video review, the call on the ice overturned, no goal. Goal interference.
Hey! Hey! He said!
In there for
No goal. Yeah, blue 23, your player is pushing his stick and moving the keeper.
Yeah.
That's why it's no goal.
he's something.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Easy boys, easy boys. 11, 17, let's go. 11, 17, let's go. 11 blue, 17 white, let's go. Oh, no. Here.
Heads up!
Welcome back to Ostrava. We are in Czechia in the eastern part of the country. We're about 20 kilometers from the Poland border. Unfortunately, Poland will be relegated after this year's tournament in our group, Great Britain in the other group. There's Charlie Lindgren, perfect in his first game, his first period thus far, 2-0 USA. Couple assists from Caufield. Boldy Kachuk, two of the tournament leaders when it comes to scoring overall. And for John Hines and his coaching staff, Brian, they have to be pretty happy with the way they came out and battled in that opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, especially after winning 10-1 last game against Kazakhstan. Your coaching staff, you're worried, okay, are our guys going to try to play our way in? Are we going to play a little, loosey-goosey, make plays all over the place? Nope, they came out and the captain set the tone. terrific rush, great shot. They got going, they played with some tempo, and they're playing north, and they're up by 2.
Werenski, Dagovic still in the box as we're underway here in this second period. Latvia has to win in regulation for any chance of getting back to the quarterfinals. Seth Jones through center. Over the blue line. Nice move. Jones. He'll bring play into the corner. Lee for Nelson. Brock Nelson. Up for Luke Hughes. Hughes. Deep in the corner to Jones. Both defensemen in deep. Nelson back. 4-on-4. A little extra space. And then it was slashed off the stick of Boldy. Nelson, by the way, led all skaters in ice time in that first period. The forward. Here is Jones on the right side. Seth Jones leaves for Boldy, and he lost the puck, and finally it's Botna controls for Latvia. Here's Momcic. Through center ice, trying to go all the way in, and nearly did, but Jones hit him enough. Botna behind the net. Botna. Kamals is there. Botna shoots up high, and Lindgren fought it off. Circles the screen in front. A good save, Charlie Lindgren there.
Those are tough. Plays coming off from behind the net.
Turnover, Botna in, Zirkles, so drop it back. Momcic shot. It was blocked, side of the net, pass in front again. And finally, Boldy away. Kachuk doesn't have a stick. He's going to try grab one on the fly and stay onside.
Wow.
And he will. Kachuk shot. Oh, would have that been something? Kachuk, that was just hilarious. Speed up the left side, no stick. He grabbed one and nearly scored. Here's Gaudreau. Backdoor feed, bouncing, as was intended for Petrie. And a penalty coming up. As Lindgren to the box, extra attack or no. What a start to the second period.
I want to know if he got his own stick.
That was pretty fun to watch in slow-mo. Kachuk for Gaudreau. I don't think he does. Kachuk right through the crease. That shot, good stop. Kozlevskis got across and stopped Nelson. Wow, lots to digest here the last 40 seconds or so.
Talk about action. I haven't seen that in a while. You get a 2-on-1, but only one guy has a stick. So Kachuk, fortunately for him, the bench is on the way, so he gets a chance to go and retrieve one. And no, it was not.
Well, it's a left shot at least.
It was not. It was. Looks like it was. I think it was Sanderson. But there's Kachuk. It just didn't. Yeah, it didn't look right.
No.
Look the way he shot the puck. Anyway,
that was awesome.
There was a penalty after the fact.
It would have been better if they gave him a right shot stick, though, just to see what Brady did with that. But they were alert enough to get him a left shot stick, at the very least.
That's pretty cool, actually. Yep. So power play, and power play, as we mentioned, been good, getting more and more healthy as the series has gone on. And
here's Werenski. Trying to control Werenski, bomb, and that left pad, Kozlevskis. He's keeping it a 2-0 game with all he's got. Thought he emptied the tank in that last game versus Slovakia. Here's Kachuk. Again, seam pass, Boldy. Kind of froze everything. Boldy down low, Caufield. They throw it around. Kachuk is at the goal line. Boldy curls around. Caufield in, shoot, score!
Oh,
Cole Caufield, power play goal. 3-0 USA and 3 points in the game now for number 22.
both of these guys deserve credit. Boldy will loop around and look at the defenseman, and that takes Trelmax, number 34, takes his eyes away from Caufield just long enough for Caufield to catch and release, and he smokes the top shelf. Now watch Boldy, comes back up, so he's looking at the, here he goes. Now watch 34, he's gonna read this, see how he moved his stick? Because Boldy was looking back at the point at Werenski. And then so he's able to open that window. Caufield, that's all he needs. Catch and release. There is a really good look. See, Boldy's looking back, and then when Trelmax moved his stick away from Caufield to the point, that opened the window, and boom, you get the pass and the shot.
Caufield in Montreal usually sets up in that circle, so maybe next season in Montreal, we'd see Caufield in a little bumper spot there. You never know. Marty St. Louis is watching. That kid can score from anywhere, though. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'd forgotten about that until you said that, because you cover Montreal so much. that he's not usually in the middle, he's off on the wing. So his rangefinder need to be reset. And he missed the net quite a few times in his first 2 games.
But as you talked about, what a chance to learn. You know, you're on a team like USA, so many weapons, so you got to maybe do some different things.
And then again, the width of the ice, it's a different ice surface. Your perception of where you are on the ice and where things are, where the net is, your feel changes. So you have to adjust. You got to get a couple of reps on your belt.
Zegras in front, backhand, and that was stopped. Good chance for Hayes inside of Zegras. That time to set up, man. Now 22-2, USA outscoring opponents over the span of, well, 3 games and a period and a bit. Up top, classic shot, and again, that left pad. Good Slevskis. Trollmax the other way. He'll flip, Krastensbergs in, shoot, score! Great shot! Renard Krastensbergs, little bit of life for Latvia, they're within 2.
Talk about sharpshooting. Krastensberg has had a really good tournament. The more I've watched this guy, the more I appreciate it's not just the shot, not just the hands. He knows how to make plays. It's on the rush, and he's going to get good penetration here as they back off on that side, and he gets just below the face-off dot. And he's just able to load and fire. He's got his head up all the way. It's a bit of a screen. Did that get tweaked up a little bit? That looked like it maybe got tweaked a little. But nonetheless, I mean, it was a rising shot, and he just ripped that. That's high on the stick side against Charlie Lindgren.
That'll get the crowd back into it. Not like they weren't, but they'll be a little louder. 3-1 in a rematch of the bronze medal game from last year. And you wonder as this game plays out, much like Poland-Kazakhstan, Poland had to win in 60 minutes. But they took their time pulling the goalie in that one. I mean, you had to try and avoid being relegated. And it's a similar situation here. Latvia at some point is going to have to win this game in regulation. OT's not enough. But first things first, they're within 2. First one to beat Lindgren. Momcic out of his own zone to center. And Lindgren with Zirkles right there decides to hold.
Latvia can be explosive. Usually it's been Zirkles and Abols, Dogovins, but also Krastensberg. Good two-way player. And he got all of that one. So the U.S. backs in a little bit, give access to the top of the circles, and Latvia smart enough. I don't know that early on in the tournament they would have taken that shot.
Ridley's lost his stick. It's broken. He's going to hit his man, the 19-year-old, without a stick. Latvia controls. They'll cycle around. Trollmax, first shot. He just missed. Sabalskis on the puck for Latvia. Up top, Zila, and that's gloved down by Lindgren.
They've got some goals from the defense and shooters like Zila at the point. Zila's a good player. He's played a lot of ice time for Latvia. Pretty much every situation. He defends really hard as a rule in front of the net. Plays with different partners. They change him up a little bit. The decor again came into this game with 5 goals and 5 assists for Latvia.
Off the draw, Sabalskis. Around the boards it goes. There's Tkachuk. Seth Jones to Werenski. Longtime partners in Columbus, and it's nice to see them reunited on the blue line for USA here. Jones wanted Pinto, high pass, and it hit Gudslevskis. You heard in the intermission with Claire Hanna, Werenski talking about those years in Columbus with Seth Jones. Now Jones obviously in Chicago, a team rebuilding. Werenski had that tough shoulder injury a couple of years ago, but he's fought back real nicely. Real offensive guy in the NHL, and he's found his game again healthy, and he looks great.
Yeah, he's 20-goal scorer too in his past. He and Zach played together as a pair for 4 years.
Just held out Tkachuk, fishing around in front of the net again. 7 goals in the tournament. He leads right now, Brady Tkachuk. A number of guys have 6. He's got 7. Hughes from his own zone. Up for Zegras. He's got Farabee with him. He'll hand it off. Hughes around the net with pace. Hughes still assessing. Up to the line. Gets it back. Luke Hughes right through the crease. Sanderson shot deflected just wide. Farabee in front of Guzlevskis. There's Kevin Hayes. Weird bounce off the end boards, and it's Bukarts. He'll relieve some pressure here for Latvia with Dogovic. Nice move. Dogovic, and then he couldn't get the shot off. Hughes disrupted him just enough. About 10,000 in the building. Another sellout here at Ostrava Arena. Really nice crowds. If it's Latvia, if it's Poland, it's Slovakia, you know it's going to be a great atmosphere, and it has been. Abols behind the net. Rodrigo Abols. Puck all the way to center. Latvia changing, jam back in, and that deflected out of play. Actually caught by the glove of Elvis Merzlikins on the bench, and he'll fire it on the ice. 3-1 USA.
He's in the grease!
Caufield with a couple of points in this game. His game's ramping up when it comes to points-wise. He's been involved earlier in the tournament. Wasn't going in. We talked about him being in the bumper spot on the power play. He's finding his range now for sure. Kachuk, Pinto, and Caufield, the last couple of games, outstanding. Beginning of the tournament with Boldy, Nelson, and Gaudreau, who really started setting the tone offensively for the U.S. So they're getting more and more guys involved offensively. And again, that combined with the defense core, you're getting plenty of scoring. It's a matter of what do they give up.
Boldy, side of the net, jamming. He nearly cashed in. Here's Botna. Just out of the reach of Zirkles. You talk about Caufield. USA Hockey's national team development program is in Plymouth, Michigan. Caufield coming through that program had a 72-goal season. As that rich shot off the post. 2 posts and out. Bukarts. It stayed out. It stayed out. Rattled both posts on the goal line. Oh man, Roberts Bukarts that close to getting Latvia within 1.
Some sharp shooting again. They'll review this to see if it went in. Goes post to post. Does a dip in over the goal line.
Oh.
A double clunker. Nice shot. Again, penetration, top of the goal line. Nope, top of the circle. Does not go over the goal line, right across.
What a chance for Bukarts, his 11th World Championship. He's got 2 goals this championship. That was that close to number 3. Another drop on Lindgren. Lindgren arrived. He got some time in with the goalie coach and then had a practice with Team USA and right into the mix here. Gets his first game in. And good to see some action, obviously, before the quarters. And USA hopes a deep medal run here in Czechia. Americans haven't won a medal since bronze back in 2021, so it's been a while since they found the podium. They've been close. A couple 4th place finishes, including last year. Here's Alex Vlasic, the Chicago Blackhawk, just signed a 6-year extension in the NHL.
He won a little battle in front of the net, and that was well away from the puck, but it gave him body position. He was able to easily go after the puck and behind the net. See, there are little battles going on all over the place. Leonard just had one well away from the puck, about 30 feet away. It just continues to go like that. And they're giving him some latitude here, the referees are.
Bukart's at the line. Lachmelis. He'll drift one in behind the net. In comes Miksin Drasis. Checking Werenski. Drasis, good job to steal. He did get it away. Centering feed across and just out of the reach of Bukart. Mikey Asimov the other way for USA. He lost it at the line. USA's got to get back on side. Cunnin, I think, is still in offside. And
he doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Zach Werenski's been extremely active and more confident also as the tournament has gone on. Playing with his old buddy, Seth Jones. Jones and he just are in sync. It's not like Seth Jones has stayed back all the time and, you know, just let Werenski go.
The goal line at times.
Yeah, Seth Jones will go as well. They have a really good feel for each other, and they play off each other, and on a regroup, either one of them could hurt you coming up the ice.
You had a good chat with him before the tournament, just about the ice surface and getting the legs prepared and ready for the championship.
That's right. On the wider ice surface, the first game, the pre-tournament game, said he was exhausted just going from the corners to the front of the net. So much wider and bigger, so much more space to cover.
Here's Krasensbergs and just offside. Oh man, they were coming in nicely. They're big guns.
Yeah, the little differences, especially not so little for defensemen. It's difficult on the different ice, on the bigger ice surface. Excuse me. They're about 7-8 feet wider than an NHL surface. How to read the rush, where you are. Sometimes you just find yourself like, whoa, what am I doing over here? I should be like 10 or 15 feet more into the middle of the ice. That awareness, you really have to think about it early on in a tournament like this, adjusting back from an NHL-sized rink.
We laughed too because Brady Tkachuk, we asked him about it, and he says, well, for him, I'm in front of the net anyway. So, you know, the ice is the same right there. That's where he goes.
Yeah, they're in the corner. It takes him a little longer to get from the corner to the front of the net, but that's where he's going to be.
And a penalty coming up here now to USA. So Latvia starting to push a little bit with it too. On the power play, when we come back to Ostrava Arena, it's Pinto to the box.
Shane Pinto is in the penalty box, so a little chance on the power play here for Latvia to get one goal closer. They're okay on the power play at times. It seems to come and go for them. They get frustrated very easily. Getting in the zone has been difficult for them at times.
Giannis Yachts is the guy back at the blue line. Zagovic will take the draw. He's got Zirkle, Stralmax, and Bulls. Power play for Latvia. And a clear by the United States. The Americans still yet to allow a power play goal in this tournament. Here's Zagovic for a Bulls. Abels across Zirkles. Up for Giannis Yachts. Yachts, Zirkles. Zirkle still with it, little fake. Giannis Yachts shot in the right pad. Lindgren kicked out in time. Bulls plays it behind the net. Here's Stralmax. Stralmax back to Bulls. Giannis Yachts. Bulls, wrister high, rebound there, and the Americans able to poke it to the near point, and it comes to center. Giannis Yachts over the line. Zagovic, 4 goals, 2 of them OT winners this year for Latvia. Zirkle shot, and that hit a body, went wide, another clear USA.
Dogovic doesn't look the same tonight. He got angry in the first period about face-off, seems a little distracted, not really fighting into the game, and they need him. If they're going to score some goals, Dogovic isn't involved most of the time.
Here's a turnover, shorthanded chance. Big shot, Hayes right on, and Gudlevskis got that and the follow-up try. He had cut in two going towards the net, and Hayes let it fly.
There's that lack of entry that I was talking about for Latvia. Big-time turnover at the blue line. Everybody going the wrong way.
Coast to coast, Buchards was gutting in. Jones took it away, flipped up for Hayes, trying to stay on side. Hayes in with Nelson. And alertly, the veteran all the way back to get off some more time, and we are 5-on-5. Pinto's out. Jake Pinto at the blue line, he'll leave it. Barabee takes a look. In the corner for Pinto. Nelson picks it up, sends it across, wrist shot, and a good stop, Kesselring. And yes, that did go out of play. Meantime, in Prague, it's still 0-0 between Czechia and Canada.
Kesselring, good scoring chance there. Righty in the left wing face-off area. Gudlevski's making a few adjustments there. It was amazing to watch him that last game.
Oh.
He hurt himself in the first period, battled all the way through, got through overtime, and then a shootout. He had a bad leg for sure. That right leg, it looked like he couldn't push off. I didn't think he was going to finish the game in overtime, never mind going into the shootout, and he still did it.
He had to go to the hospital, got intravenous fluids, and now penalty coming up. That wrist shot right on. It was the extra attacker coming out at Pinto in the middle of things in front of Gudlevskis. He had to get intravenous, lost 17 pounds. Thankfully, they had the day off yesterday, and we didn't think he'd go in this game, and here he is, Gudlevskis.
Pinto got his hands up just in time there. That was going to, he could have really taken one in the mouth after the whistle goes. And there's the initial call. Looks like going to be a hooking call. Yep. Komos. Hooking and tripping are the most common calls here. They do let physical stuff go. And these two teams have roughed each other up a little bit. After the whistle, it was Pinto going into the pile there. He got his hands up. I didn't see whose stick and hands came up, or he would have got popped right in the mouth.
Face off into the corner. Good shot for Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau. Werenski. Gaudreau. Boldy had the one-timer. That was Zirkles, a good poke away. Make sure that didn't happen. Boldy down low. Hit Tkachuk. Johnny Gaudreau. Werenski. Boldy. Johnny Gaudreau. In, shoots up high. Tkachuk looking for that rebound, bouncing to Gaudreau. Werenski just tried to hold it in, and it does come to center. USA back on side. Werenski brings it in. Boldy stays in play high off the glass. Momcic there. Tkachuk. Boldy, he had some room, but right through the legs with a pass. Boldy for Werenski. Werenski, and that high drive off the stick hits the glass behind the net. Caufield, and that had too much sauce for Werenski all the way back near Lindgren.
All four guys, penalty killers, get off the Latvian.
Yeah, they got the long change. Heads up. That was about 10 rows in.
Oftentimes on the power play, on the big ice surface, when a puck is on the wall and there's a bit of a battle and the penalty killers all are drawn to the puck and you get a little bit of an overload, if you can retrieve those ones off the wall and get it over to the other side right away, you get excellent scoring chances.
Right off the draw. Good job, Lachmelis, killing off some more time. Trevor Zegras at center. He'll dish to Pinto, who shoots it in. Barabee in the corner. Checked by Carlos Choksta. Here's Luke Hughes. Zegras. Hughes. Shot, block. Krostensberg's the other way. Maybe a 2-on-1 with Lutchmelis. Krostensberg's in. Lutchmelis. Oh, just wide. Nelson got enough to break up that play.
Brock Nelson coming back and really well played by Luke Hughes about when he forced as well.
And Kamals is out. And then a trip in the offensive zone, and now it's a penalty, and Latvia wants 2, and I think they're getting them.
Yeah.
They're getting 2, a 5-on-3 coming up. Wow, what a chance now for Latvia.
Krostensberg's involved in the pushing and scrumming here. And the U.S. trying to get somebody else involved from Latvia. Probably a good idea because, yeah, they've got 2 guys going off. There were 2 trips by U.S. players on the same shift, so they'll be down 2 guys unless the refs don't like what Latvia's doing here.
So Nelson for sure.
Each referee wants to call his first. I think they're conferring to see, are you calling the same one I did? There's the first one, Brock Nelson. Shortly thereafter, Zegras, that's a trip as well, and both well deserved. Left side of your screen, this is after the whistle. So I think that's what the conference is about. What do we do about Latvia? And also Luke Hughes, 43. That's who was involved in the last scrum. But at the very least, it's 2 for the USA.
Well, to your point, Brian, 2 hands went up right away, but was it the same call?
I doubt it.
So they're trying to figure out the second guilty party. It looks to be Zegras.
Oh, it is Zegras for sure.
So he's in, and Latvia I don't think is getting anything. So Zegras, Nelson, and a 5-on-3.
And Latvia will not be drawn into a penalty. So they are reviewing the Trevor Zegras penalty. Are they looking at slew foot? He stuck his foot out. Just looked like a trip to me. They want another look at it. Here's Zegras. Nah, it's just a trip. He just tripped him. Yeah, he stuck his foot out. It's tripping. Not sure why they're reviewing this one. Maybe they're looking to see if it was a knee. That must be what it is. It might be kneeing. On that angle, you see the knee come out. The first angle just looked like trip. The second one, I think that's what they're looking at. Is it a knee? I think it's just a trip.
After the review, Team USA number 9, 2 minutes for tripping.
The one angle and the angles maybe that both referees were on. The way it ended, what the body language of a player after the fact, it looks like, okay, that knee looks like it's sticking out. Should we take a look at that? And they have the ability to do that. But it was, the trip had already happened, and the body position afterwards was just a factor from that.
3-1 game. What a chance for Latvia. A never say die team. They've battled hard all tournament. Can they find one here with this opportunity? Sanderson, though, on the puck, he'll clear.
Yeah, we'll be looking back at this as a pivotal part of the game. It's a 2-goal game here. You got a 5-on-3.
The 285s in the corner. Lutchmelis, Sanderson. USA clears again as Savalskis gets back. He'll dish it back. This is Rehart's Bukarts for Lutchmelis. Back to Bukarts. Indrasis. Savalskis for Bukarts. Savalskis.
Why would you set up with 3 guys so deep?
Blue cards up top. Sabalskis fanned on it. Sanderson falling, can't jam it out. Sabalskis. Up top, wrist shot. And that one from Roberts. Blue cards missed. He can't jam it in. And down the ice.
I don't think that's going to revolutionize a 5-on-3 power play. You got to have 3 guys up top, some kind of umbrella set up, and have guys ready to shoot, not 3 guys down low.
Bouncing puck and top one for Zirkles. He's got to go back. Zirkles again. He'll bring it in. Zirkles takes it around the net. He's watched by Jones. Rodrigo at Bulls. Now Bulls for Dogovic. Dogovic up high. Wanted that tip from Zirkles. Giannis Yachts. Martic Zirkles in the corner. Slashes at it. There's Stralmox. Up top, Giannis Yachts that shot, and Lindgren was ready. And Nelson, Zegras are out. 5-on-5. Giannis Yachts down low shot, side of the net. Stralmox missed. Centering feed all the way up top. Yachts again. That hit a skate. And Nelson will pick it up for USA. That's a massive kill. Farabee fell behind the play. Giannis Yachts at center. Yachts cutting in towards the net, a weak shot. 3 minutes to go in the period. Felix Gavars leaves in the corner. Centering feed in front. And it was bouncing on Landvich. Krastensbergs behind the net. Great shot and hit a body wide of Charlie Lindgren. Galvin's off the side of the net. Krastensbergs back on it. Tried to center. 2:30 to go. USA needing a change here. Nelson will slash that to center. And that'll start when it's the long change. Remember, for the United States, no icing.
4 out of 5 get to the bench. They're feeling a lot better.
Here's Krastensbergs. One more time through center. He'll flip. Played in the corner for Jake Sanderson. He'll send that to the left side. Caufield after it. Caufield on Kamols, then he hits him. Tkachuk, he got tripped up behind the play. His legs knocked out of him. And that's an icing to the USA. Tkachuk, yeah, he is barking right away at Kamols. He saw the play. He didn't like it.
And he's got a few words for him. I think Kamols was wondering how far this was going to go. He turns around and gets right in the face of Kamols. Here's what happened. Goes in, he gets kicked from behind, and that'll snap your head around too. That's what made him angry. Felt like got his feet kicked out from underneath, and he did.
Under 2 to go, off the draw. Caufield for Hughes. Hughes. Backhand feed in front. Try to get it there for Tkachuk. Tkachuk. Mahomcic giving him the business. Pinto's wrister wide. Sanderson. He'll play it around the boards. Pinto hustles. Pinto right back in. Caufield there. Caufield for Pinto. Those two part of a World Junior gold medal team back in the day. Included Zegras, Sanderson. A lot of success that USA Hockey National Team Development Program in Plymouth, Michigan. Andrasis across the shot. Oh, good glove save. As Dan Sluch-Mellis, a push in tight. Handled by Charlie Lindgren. There's a look at Krastensburgs, who's made it a 3-1 game. Played in the Olympics for Latvia back in 2022. Was part of the bronze medal team. Over 50 games experience at the World Hockey Championship. Asamon. And it's funny, all that penalty killing kind of wrecks your flow a little bit and working your lines out, your offensive guys. Final minute, second period. Good speed, Jonas Yak. So bringing in Krastensburgs, the high shot, and Lindgren will glove it down.
Well, that power play, I think, sucked the life out of Latvia right now, too. We've had some stoppages in play and whatever, but that's a key point in the game already. They're down by 2. They got a 5-on-3 for the full 2 minutes. And it was, frankly, a lazy, slow power play. I mean, if you're intimidated by 3 guys that are defending against you, something's wrong there. They couldn't even get in the zone properly the first time in, and that told you something right off the bat. They killed half their power play themselves.
It was a pleasure watching Germany's power play earlier today. They really work it around efficiently. Here's Voldy. Across, Voldy again, open net, he couldn't cash in. Tied up enough by Freibergs.
I think it hit Freibergs in the foot. Terrific pass back. Johnny Gaudreau, just when you think he's going to do something, he does something else, and he passes it back to Voldy.
That's why he's the all-time assists leader, points leader for USA Hockey at these World Championship. Johnny Gaudreau, always elusive, great hands. Gaudreau, a few seconds left. They got to be quick, shoot it fast. Jones, last wrister, he missed. So through 40 minutes, it's 3-1 USA.
Let's take a look at this chance again. It's a 2-on-1. There's Gaudreau. You think he's going to shoot. Look where the goaltender is. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, he just fanned on it. I thought maybe it hit the defenseman. Just puck rolled up his stick. He couldn't get it. What a beautiful setup by Johnny Gaudreau. What else is new?
Kachuk, Werenski, Cole Caufield, and then Krastensburgs for Latvia. Intermission is next with Mark Rupp.
between the benches.
Yep.
Yes.
Keep eyes
Yep.
there.
1, 2,
Up.
3, go.
Let's go. Loose.
Hey, hey. Outside the blue. Outside the blue. Get him out. These three guys. Come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. He didn't see you. No, no. He don't see you, Brady. No, 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 no. Hey! He don't see you.
consecutive times, making the quarterfinals at the World Hockey Championship, just awaiting their dance partner in the quarters. Also, Dylan Cousins has scored his 7th goal, tying Brady Tkachuk. Canada a 1-0 lead over Czechia in Prague. Canada just needs a single point there, and they will wrap up top spot in Group A. We know Sweden, top spot in our group. We already know they're going to take on Finland in a quarterfinal, and Latvia has to win in regulation here. Underway 3rd period, so a massive period to keep Latvia's hopes alive underway.
Yeah, they better come out attacking here because they don't want to leave it too late and have to pull that goaltender with maybe 6 or 7.
Right in front, backhand score. Boldy, my goodness. 4-1 USA. Boldy continues to have himself a tournament.
Just like the start of the game, Latvia just not ready in their own zone. Half asleep, I guess, waiting to regroup and come up the ice. But the front of their net coverage has really hurt them in this game. There is no coverage. That's the problem. Get on the forecheck, keep it in the middle, keep it in the zone, excuse me, then get it to the middle of the ice. And Matt Boldy, who has been absolutely brilliant, that's a great shot. So well disguised, so difficult for a goaltender, a spin around backhand shot. You don't know where the release point is. You're kind of half expecting it to go at least waist high or higher, and he slips it underneath him. Nice quick shot, and another stunner from the U.S., just like the Tkachuk goal to start the game.
John Hines has to be loving this. His guy, his Minnesota Wild star, Boldy, leading the tournament in scoring. And we talked about it. Bill Guerin is here. Mike Sullivan also here, the new head coach of the upcoming Four Nations Cup and Olympic team. Here's the Jazz of the left side, circles, shot, rebound in front, steered aside in time.
Such a good play there by Brock Nelson to come back in the middle. He crisscrossed with Werenski, good communication there. Werenski, just those huge strides, came across from the left side all the way to the far side to snuff out that attack. The rebound came in the middle where Werenski normally would have been, and it was Nelson there to clean it up. That was terrific teamwork.
Dominik Kubalik has just tied things up for Czechia, so 1-1 in Prague at O2 Arena.
He's so good in these tournaments too, Kubalik. He knows how to find the nets in the international competition.
Here's Sanderson in the corner, watched by Luchmelis. He'll play it around for Hughes. Hughes, a finalist for Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League. Had a wonderful season with the New Jersey Devils. He did an interview at this championship, hoping to someday play with both of his brothers, and I like the chances of that, as Quinn is fabulous in Vancouver, of course his teammate, his brother Jack in New Jersey. Wonderful players.
Part of them hope it never happens because it means at least one of them is in the playoffs somewhere, right?
Well, World Championships for sure, but man, that Olympic dream, that's pretty special now that NHL players are back as well. Four Nations Cup.
Otherwise, absolutely it'll happen. There are 3 of the best players in the league.
Max high and bouncing a little bit, and it's nice too, and you mentioned this, and it's a good point by you. You know, Charlie Lindgren, get him in the tournament quick, get some feels. He flew over right. I mean, you want to get him in the mix as soon as you can here.
Because, yeah, he's an emergency recall situation. Who knows what he's been doing since the end of the season? And it drops off pretty quick. You lose your feel, you lose your concentration, unless he knew he was on the list. Then maybe he went out there. So I don't know those details yet. But yes, to get him back in the lineup here, this game isn't critical for the U.S. I mean, they're in the medal round, and that's the first piece of business. But to get Lindgren in and get a feel is important.
Johnny Gaudreau drops it back. Wrist shot bounced behind Petrie. He couldn't get the shot away. Boldy in deep again. Johnny Gaudreau sings it up top. There's Petrie, loads up. And again, Gudslevskis. He's had a busy couple games here, his last couple games. Slovakia, now USA.
We don't have access to the locker rooms like we do in the NHL. We can't just go in the morning and talk to whomever we want. Claire Hanna gets access to some people, mostly just the coaches, and then post-game interviews a little bit here and there, but very different than these international tournaments. So to find out, we will eventually, what the situation has been for the goaltender Charlie Lindgren, but I don't know how much he's played or practiced since the end of the season.
There's a media flash zone where after the game, the media does line up, all the international media, the players walk through, and you can make your request and pull players aside. Had the opportunity to do that in Prague the last time Canada won in 2015. Crosby was the captain that year. Undefeated. Crosby joined the Triple Gold Club, Olympic Gold, Stanley Cup winner, and World Championship Gold. Really cool stuff. They had a dynamic team back in 2015. Offside.
The U.S. would like to be playing still with tempo and pushing the pace. But with a 3-goal lead, they also are going to practice playing the clock and the score too. And that means even though it's early on in the third period, don't take chances, don't take risks you don't have to take. Make Latvia do what they have to do. And right now, that's score 4 goals.
Mikey Esamon at the line. Esamon with Ryan Leonard cut in there as well. So not dressed, Trey Augustine, Will Smith, the great young forward out of San Jose, and Matt Kessel. Smith, the 4th overall pick, and soon to be 1st overall pick belonging to the San Jose Sharks. Chicago will draft number 2. So you have to think Macklin Celebrini will be a teammate of Will Smith in the very near future for the National Hockey League. Here's Esamon in the corner. Up for Sanderson. Sanderson slap shot, and the tip by Cunning just wide, picked up by Ryan Leonard. First round pick for the Washington Capitals. Leonard, wrap try right in front. He had quite the season. Under 18 gold, World Junior gold. He just got flipped there by Chokesta. Much like Brady Tkachuk did, just the foot sweep underneath him and tripped up. Sanderson took his man down, lost his stick as Leonard chips it in. In comes Tkachuk, in with Zila. Zila checking Tkachuk. Chokesta trying to shake off his man in Pinto. Kesselring had it worked in momentarily. Skidded up by Lovinch. In, shoots, pad stop. Caufield able to chop that out of harm's way up to Zila though. Zila towards the net. Rebound. Oh, just about a great save. Trollbox got it by him. Lindgren so close to highlight reel stop, but it's 4-2.
I thought he had it too.
Oh.
Trollbox was all alone in front of the net on that right wing side. Rebound comes out. Lindgren just bailing to his left as hard as he can. He got about 90% of this puck, but it wasn't enough. Shoot and retrieve. We get some net front presence. The U.S. team overloads on one side. Good goal scorer's goal. Trollbox hanging out where everybody isn't. Watch Charlie come across here. Gets the stick on it and just was a little too far away to reach back. Oh. Next time, Trollbox is going to go, yeah, okay, another foot higher, just to make sure, right? Dodge the bullet there.
So Latvia, some big-time live Trollbox. Played in North America in the USHL, won a Clark Cup with the Chicago Steel back in the day. Played NCAA hockey, University of Maine, as they come again! Tipped in front, unbelievable! Latvia's within 1. Don't go anywhere. Bob Cheech let it go. He's going to get credit for the goal.
I got to see this one again, but yeah, it's just a plain old shot from the point. What happens to Charlie Lindgren here? How much does it change direction? Where does it go? Come right back with a push, get it back to the point. Top right of your screen is where the shot's going to come from. Charlie's on the move big time. He's coming from deep in his net on the right, up and to the front. That got tipped well out in front. I'm still not sure who that went off of. But the U.S. is going to call timeout here and settle things down, and well, they should. It definitely did get tweaked up. John Hines wants to settle things down a little bit here. Everybody overloaded a little bit there. You got to watch the backside pressure. Get some backside pressure. Trollbox just hung there on the first goal. Then you get a little bit antsy after you've been scored on. And they're fortunate that somebody got a stick on it or a leg on it. Now they're in by 1. Now they only need 2 because, again, they have to win in regulation in order to get in the medal round.
What a story Robert's mom cheat. So his 3rd world championship, he had no points coming into this one. Now he's got 3 goals. And that's a big one. Again, you know the story. Icing there. Latvia has to win in regulation here. Another look. And this is the first one.
Here's the first goal. Let's see who we think the second one goes off of. Dogovins will get an assist. Charlie's a little out of control there, though. He's really going with the first shot where he thinks the angle is, but you can see he ends up facing sideways. That's never a good way to finish for a goaltender in any situation. He's a little bit out of position there.
Latvia comes again, and the fans are right back into it. Wow, Jones, big hit there on Circles in the corner. We'll see if this timeout pays dividends here. USA gets back to work. Boldy on the rush. Boldy kicks it into the corner. Circles there. One thing about Latvia, they will not go quietly. They continue to fight for every inch. Stretch pass up for Farabee. Gavin Brindley, the 19-year-old, battling for space. Lutchmelis lost it. Brindley back on the forecheck. Chipped in at the line, little backhand feed, and Antrostis couldn't pull the trigger. Brindley the other way with Farabee. Gavin Brindley up the right wing. Brindley, shot, rebound, and Farabee had already skated by it.
Namsic had him covered pretty much in front, too. The guy who just scored that goal for Latvia. That's what he normally does. He's known for his defending, I think, more than his offense. Like you said, he's got the golden touch here, though.
Puck in front, 2 tries, and Lutchmelis, the second effort, he just couldn't get it in on Lindgren. And if you're Latvia now, all pucks on net, why not?
Be interesting to see what the U.S. do now. Are they able to get consecutive shifts here, lean into the game, get a deep forecheck, or are they going to sit back and defend this one on a 1-goal lead?
Asamont up to the right side. Wrist shot in and out. Rebound Leonard. Ryan Leonard following up, and Gudslevskis holds it down. Able to make that stop. Good speed, Ryan Leonard. 4-3. USA leads Latvia. Quick pair. Latvia, the fans, there's the drumming section. It's not hard to find them. You can hear them pretty clearly in here. 4-3, USA by 1. As Latvia, 2 quick ones. Average shot missed. In comes Lassick. Nearly 8 gone, 3rd period. And pass by Brock Nelson. That'll stop play. Mercer and Hagel have scored for Team Canada, so a 3-1 lead. As 2 quick ones there for the Canadians.
I got to think that John Hines is pretty happy that this game is going the way he expected. I mean, they're in the lead, but he said, I'm glad we're playing Latvia because they play hard. Coming off that 10-1 win against Kazakhstan, and they had the game in hand here. Now they've got some stress, and they've got to handle it. All these things are important. So playing hard right to the very end here. I think this is pretty much what the doctor ordered, and I'm sure he's not too upset about this as long as it ends right.
Well, play a team that has to play for everything, right? Like, I mean, this is a playoff game, and that's the attitude USA wanted.
Yep.
They wanted to elevate their game and play like a playoff game as well, because after this, it's win or go home. And in a quarterfinal game, anything can happen. And last year, USA lost the semifinal to Germany by 1, and then lost in overtime to Latvia, to this tough Latvian nation.
You have to be able to handle stress.
Ryan Leonard, and look out, that's way up and out of play.
The game's going to go back and forth, and because it is all sudden death, sudden victory, whatever you want to call it, every single game matters, and in the medal round, you don't get a second shot. So if you can't handle when things go bad on you and the other team gets some momentum and they maybe sting you for a couple of goals, maybe they're ahead by a couple, you have to be able to handle the stress.
Off the draw, Jones right on. Good stop that. Back to the line again. Shot in front, tipped. And Gudlevskis, there's the late whistle, man, and then Zielik just clearing bodies. That was Asimov the last chance, and then a big cross-check after the whistle.
Yeah, he'll stick his nose in there, but he's giving away a lot of size and not a very big guy. Zielik is a big man. But he'll be back again. Asimov will do it again next shift and the shift after that. But they don't mess around. We've seen this in the tournament from Latvia. This is not the first game that they've played like this in front of their goaltender. Earlier in the game, they had nobody there at times, and that's been their Achilles heel. They've given up 4 goals, and a couple of them were wide open chances in front where Latvia didn't have anybody in the same zip code.
Trollmax and Momcic have brought Latvia within 1 here in this third period. Or again, they have to win in regulation. A win in overtime or a shootout is not going to do it, so they're going to have to give it all they have here. 11:24 to go. Here's Pinto. Momcic lost it. Cole Caufield in, score! He did it again! Cole Caufield! Two goals and a 4-point game. He's having a night.
And this is at least the second time where he starts from behind the net, and you think he's going to go in the corner again where he set up a really nice goal earlier in the game, but come from behind the net and goal scorer's hands. He gets to the puck. He gets a fortunate bounce, I think, as the puck came around the wall. Yep, see? So now he's in behind everybody, comes and loops out and picks that top shelf. See, Mancic should have been able to handle that. He didn't along the wall, didn't field it properly. And when you make a mistake and guys like Cole Caufield are hanging around, that's the reaction you get.
Brian, I've seen that movie before a couple times.
The one that guy was just looking at?
No, the Caufield show in Montreal where he picks a corner. We ran into his dad, Paul, a few times, and as soon as his dad, Paul Caufield, showed up, he scored. He popped in 2, and Cole's been scoring ever since, so maybe dad's the good luck charm. And more of this sandpaper stuff after a whistle. That's Hayes. And the helmet off now.
Frustration stuff.
It's Martin's
for Latvia. The stick was just kind of wrapped around him, and Hayes was just trying to take it back from him. Levinch in the lineup. He hasn't played a whole lot in this tournament. Hayes was trying to retrieve his stick, I believe, and the response was one way and then another. It is top of your screen, a long ways away. See, Hayes is like, okay, I just want my stick back. Levinch is holding on to it. Then he's going to turn around and sort of try to yank it out of his hands, and Hayes said, okay, I've had enough about that. And the referees had enough of both of them.
Czechia has pulled the goalie. Andre Palat has scored, so 3-2 Canada. Caufield again. And Choksta gives Caufield a shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't shoot it. Like, what's the big deal there? Because he was stick handling with the puck a little bit extra after the whistle when he didn't shoot. But they're really trying to get under the U.S. skin now. I think they think it's working a little. I mean, got the 2 quick goals. They played their game. We talked about this from the drop of the puck to start the game. Here we go. It's going to be a little off camera. Yeah, they missed that part of it. What happened with Caufield after the fact with Chuksta. And they're still jawing at each other. Caufield's waiting to go to his bench, and Chuksta with a couple of words for him. And Brady Tkachuk, being a Tkachuk, went over there and handled the situation as well.
So after all that, it is a power play here for Latvia. Giannis Yaks. As Hayes Pinto in the box, as is Lavic. Giannis Yaks at the point. First shot blocked by Nelson high and behind the net. And that hit the glass and went out of play, so the faceoff will be back in USA territory, but no delay game there.
You got to be able to play more than one way in order to win a tournament like this. If you think you're so good and you're just a smooth, really good team and handle the puck and you make plays, there's going to be a team out there somewhere along the line that's going to get under your skin, and they're going to hack and whack you around. And if you can't handle that, then you're going to have an issue trying to win a medal, right? And the ultimate gold medal.
I'm smiling, Brian, because you know who hasn't seen any of that yet is Sweden. They've been rolling, they've been smooth, and maybe Slovakia can give them a little stress tonight. That's their final game to wrap up group play in Ostrava.
Or sometimes you find out somebody does it to you in the medal round, and then it's too late, and you haven't faced it yet, and you didn't handle it right.
Well,
so it'll just be interesting.
I like it when a plan comes together, because Sweden's going to get Finland in the quarterfinal, and those two nations always go head-to-head tough. Here's Zirkles. Head fake, shot high, he missed. Minute remaining of power play time here for Latvia. Dogovic across, a bull shot, and a good save that time, Lindgren. Unbelievable. The Czechs scored again with the goalie pulled, so they've tied Canada.
2 in 76 seconds.
Unbelievable stuff over at O2 Arena. How good is that? All the scoring in the third period over there, so an exciting one for Gord Miller, Mike Johnson, and Lindsey Hamilton. Here's Richard Bukarts over the line. Just 15 seconds left, and he brings it in offside.
It's interesting to see how individual players, and certainly teams, how interesting players react to chippy games like this. Some guys back off, some guys get more intense, some guys get distracted, and you get everything in between. And when you got a 2-goal game, and that extra goal means a lot for the U.S. here, gives them that little extra cushion. But the push is starting to come here from Latvia because it has to.
Here's Bukarts, some good speed over the line up the right side. He'll dish it in. Farabee on the puck, though. He'll clear as Pinto's out. Shane Pinto. He'll delay in the corner. Pinto to Caufield, who's got 2 goals in this game, a 4-point game as well for Cole Caufield. He'll bring it in. Caufield, weak shot, that's handled. Nonsense. Puts it into the corner. Foot races on as Felix Gavar's there, but USA plays it up to the line. Tkachuk. Sanderson delays. Gets to the line and rips it in for USA. Trollmax in the corner. Momcic. Up the left wing. Gavars. And that'll deflect out of play with 8:13 to go. Caufield's goal, a little insurance, and again, more of this stuff after the whistle. Welcome back to Ostrava, 5-3 USA. So last year, USA 4th place, losing the bronze medal game. Rocco Grimaldi, though, he had a 14-point tournament, and he was a tournament all-star, one of the top forwards. Well, already with some game to come, at least one more, and possibly a lot more for USA. Boldy's already tied that. He's got 14 points, so a heck of a tournament for Matt Boldy. Puck off the draw. Petrie found where it was, and he put it to center. There's Rodrigo Abols. And that did come out of the zone, so Latvia in offside.
And a moment ago when I said it's interesting to watch how individual players react to chippy games like this, you got Caufield, who's the smallest player on the ice, I'm pretty sure, right?
Second smallest in the tournament,
Second
actually, next
smallest in the tournament.
Out of Poland.
2 goals and 2 assists. Doesn't bother him any.
His compete level has been big time since he was 16 years old. First time I saw him at a U18 tournament. He tied the tournament record for goals in a single tournament. He had 14 goals in Northern Sweden in 2019, tallying Alex Ovechkin's record. They both had 14 in a single tournament. And trust me, he had about 1,000 shots in the final game trying to get number 15 of that tournament. Here's a steal, Boldy again. Boldy knocked down, drops it off. Good throw, dancing in, trying to get it across, and it came to Gudslevskis.
Boldy's positioning there, the way he stole that puck, but then when he goes down on the ice, he actually still hooks the puck away. Look at that steal in the read, and then watch this. He still hooks the puck around so Johnny Gaudreau can get the scoring chance. Great stuff from Matt Boldy.
Was the 4th Wild player, rookie in franchise history, to have a hat trick. His hat's right on, and a 4-goal game, by the way. And he continues to get it done on the international stage. Had a great season this past year. Put up 29 goals and 69 points for the Minnesota Wild. And Coach John Hines, who's here behind the bench as well.
6 points the other night.
A 6-point game, right? No big deal. And it's funny, you can say, well, that was against Kazakhstan, but they played a good system, and tonight it's Cole Caufield's night.
They executed it. It wasn't flashy. Here's a look at Cole Caufield's night. It was a beautiful assist. Another assist, power play shot on the tape and right off, top shelf, out from behind the corner, behind the net, excuse me. Top shelf, short side, another goal scorer's goal.
And Gudslevskis is a big guy. He's 6'4", but he went down on his knees. He gave Cole that little bit of daylight, and for these guys, it's no problem to find it. They are that good now. 5-3. Caufield a 4-point night. 7 minutes to go here in this third period. So Canada's picked up at least a point, so they will wrap up top spot in the group over at Prague. That tries Zabolskis, follow-up try just wide. And the way it's shaping up, Slovakia will travel to Prague and take on Canada in that quarterfinal matchup, because Latvia, 6 minutes, 30 seconds. They got to win. They have to win in regulation, or Slovakia's game tonight versus Sweden doesn't mean anything. Latvia was the last chance on the last day. They did have a chance, but they had to take care of their own business first. That hit the glass, just stayed in play, and Dross is back there. Luke Hughes trying to clear. And here's Hughes. He'll use his speed with Asamont to his left. He goes to his right, instead of the reach of Ryan Leonard. Leonard zipped that along the goal line, trying to squeak one in. Leonard, 31 goals for Boston College this past year in the NCAA. And we'll see him in a Washington Capitals jersey, I'm assuming, pretty soon. Leonard in the corner for Sanderson. Up for Luke Cunning. Cunning over the line, and Gudslevskis will squeeze. 5:26 to go. Final day of group play. game 2 of 3 as we wrap up group play at the IIHF World Hockey Championship. Great night for Caufield. Pair of goals. He's got 4 points. 5:26 to go. And we'll see how Latvia responds here. Will they gamble? Will they try to pull the goalie here? Because they need 3 goals.
Yeah, during that TV timeout, they had all the players over there, and Harris Vitalic had the board out a little bit. I'm assuming they're discussing some plays. Certainly that would include the goaltender coming out relatively soon if it was me.
It would be a miracle of massive proportions if they could pull it off.
I've watched John Cooper a couple of times this year, down 2 goals, pull the goalie with over 7 minutes to go.
There's Boldy, 1-on-3, killing off some time because players changing behind him, and he's going to join them on the bench. Under 5 to go. Kevin Hayes in the corner. Hayes towards the net, nice move. Cedric beat Farabee, just bounced on him. And that hit Farabee, came to Gavin Ridley. Ridley's got to hustle back, tries to take down Botna, and Botna drops him. His helmet's off. Ridley's got to get off. Flipped in by Latvia. Hughes in the corner. Up for Ryan Leonard. Leonard with Hayes. Leonard in. Wrist shot blocked. Zirkles taken down by Leonard. They're going to call it.
There we go.
And then Leonard takes a shot as he makes his way to the box. So now, interesting, 3:56 to go and a power play for Latvia.
You got to pull the goaltender here. Make it 6-on-4.
Use
Once
your
you get in
timeout
the
maybe
zone,
and get after it.
little cutback move. Yeah, it's a well-deserved penalty. The analytics say that the sooner you pull the goaltender, the better your odds are. And yeah, you can give up multiple empty net goals sometimes, but I don't know what they believe here in Latvia. But that's got to be part of the process here, what they're thinking about. The coach himself is running the show. Yeah, and they're talking to the goaltender, Gudlevsky, is about, okay, we'll let you know. It'll be soon.
So if things hold up here, we know Sweden is going to take on Finland for sure in the quarterfinal. That'll be here in Ostrava. Canada would take on Slovakia at O2 Arena, and then it's either USA versus Swiss or Czech, or Germany versus Swiss or Czech. So we're starting to figure things out here slowly. And Gudlevskis is going to go to the box. So power play, extra attacker. Here we go. Dylan Cousins, by the way, is wanted for Canada. So they win the group. Zirkles. Janis Jaks. All systems go for Latvia. They need a miracle here. Zirkles. Botna got dumped in front. Zirkles. Waiting, shooting, and good job. That glove through everybody. Lindgren found it. What a tournament for Dylan Cousins, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Another one for Canada.
He must be sharp shooting big
8
time.
goals now for him, and look at this save.
Traffic in front.
Oh.
What a save, yeah.
Wow.
His head is on one side, the glove is on the other. Now, for Latvia, they can't afford to make plays around the outside very long. When you with goaltenders back in now, they're going to pull them again, so they don't trust their face-offs is what this means, right? But when they pull them again, you got to shoot and retrieve. You got to have everybody moving. You're going to be 6-on-4, so you got to use the 2 extra men and keep shooting and keep everybody moving. You want to play around the outside and stand still, you're going to play right into the Americans' hands.
And there's a turnover. I thought they might pull him there, but Farabee, they'll bring it in. 3:05 to go. Sanderson in his own zone. Last few games for us, Brian, a bit of a chess match because the game's a bit out of reach, but the other team had to do something. It was the same for Poland and Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Janis Jaks, Gudlevskis still in his net, and the Americans control again and send it down the ice, and they can Obviously, it's a power play. They can just send it down there, kill off some more time.
They haven't attacked with any kind of speed yet. You got to have speed.
And here it comes. Meeks and Drosis into the corner. Still nothing from Gudslevskis. He's thinking about it. Goes back in his net, though, and it's a good call because it's down the ice. Remember, the Americans net empty. They can just pull the trigger as they kill off this penalty. And now he goes. Bukarts over the line. Extra attacker out. Just 15 seconds left in the power play. Werenski takes a look. Open net, and that's stopped at center. Hayes at his own line. USA controls Werenski. He'll try again. Just over the net. 6-on-5 hockey, but it's even strength, but the extra attacker still for Latvia. So 6-on-5 in Drosis over the line. Kicked out by Petrie. Got it for Kachuk. Backhand try. And he'll miss the empty net. Giannis Yaks. They need 3 goals in 1:35. Krasensburgs. They send it in. Sanderson takes a look. Couldn't clear. Krasensburg in front. Lindgren down and out in a big-time stop. His best save of the game to keep it 5-3. Good stop with a body in front. Lachmelis is alone in front of that net.
Latvia's attacked so slowly, they've helped the U.S. defend. They finally get it to the front of the net, and just for a moment, all alone against Charlie Lindgren. And there's the quick glove.
Well,
really good job of challenging. Watch Lindgren come out, get close to it, gets a little bit of a kick on it. That's the first good, real diving play by Botna. Anybody in Latvia close to the net to get a scoring chance.
Off the draw, Zirkol's just wide. Minute 20 to go. Werenski. Dagovic is in front, looking for a pass. And a penalty coming up, and it'll be Werenski. Werenski will go to the box. Welcome to Ostrava for those watching Canada, Czechia. Big win for Canada, and what a tournament for Dylan Cousins. Interesting story here. So Werenski, we've got 1:09 to go. Werenski in the box. Latvia's down by 2, but they have to win in regulation or they're done. They won't qualify. So they pulled the goalie. They've done it a few times. They need to score 3 goals in 1:09. That's the scenario. So,
and this is the second time for 6-on-4 for them.
Yeah, so they got another chance here. They'll try. They'll control.
But the prior 6-on-4 was just too slow. Not enough intent. They looked uneasy about what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. They need 3 goals here. They can't mess around. Playing around the outside is just not going to do it. They're going to have to be full-on attack and shoot from everywhere and go for rebounds and get those rebounds more often than the 4 guys wearing blue. And then do it again and do it again.
Minute 9 to go. Face-off won by Latvia. Giannis Yaks. Botna's in front. Botna jammed at it. And a stick shattered at Bowles. His stick shattered in his hands. He's got to hustle to get a new one. Dagovic shot blocked. Follow-up. Sanderson swatted at it.
Another stick gone for Latvia.
Brock Nelson sweeping at it. Empty net. Here's Farabee. Farabee to end it. Farabee off the post. He couldn't do it.
It's going to be a slash. Going to get a slashing penalty, and he deserved it. Yaks, I think it is.
So is it a goal then? It's a goal. They reward the goal because he was cutting in open net. That's just a goal, and it's
good point.
Lights out Latvia.
72 is Yaks. He's going to come back. Yeah, it's a good hack. His argument was, well, I didn't hit him on the hands. He hit the stick. Referee's not convinced. The way he pulled the stick back in order to go after him there, he had to do what he had to do. That, yeah, they're going to award the goal. Good point.
It was a miracle run last year for Latvia. The bronze medal in overtime, beating USA, but not to be 1 year later. Give them credit. They battled hard. But a little revenge here for the United States. Mikey Eastamont, by the way, the only returning player from that bronze medal loss last year. 6-3 USA. And obviously Gudlewski is back in his net. Grayberg's in his own zone. What a night, too, for Cole Caufield. 2 goals, 4 points. Boldy leads the tournament in scoring. He's had another great game. Bukarts trying to steal below the goal line. Lachmelis there, he took a stick up high. Chip down the ice, 15 seconds remaining. And you know these Latvian fans, win or lose, they will salute this team that has battled hard the last couple of years. Bukarts, one last rush over the line. Lost the puck. United States, a 6-3 victory, and Latvia's tournament comes to an end.
They battled hard, did the best they could. They just could not score enough goals. They were an in-your-face team, Latvia was, but the U.S., they were in control most of this game. It got a little bit tight, but they handled that. And that is a very good thing. John Hines wanted them. This was a business game. He was glad that they played Latvia because of the way Latvia plays that in-your-face style. There was a lot of pushing and shoving and rough stuff after the whistles. It was one of those type of game. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for the U.S. after winning 10-1 last game against Kazakhstan. So they win this going away 6-3. It took effort. It took playing the right way. Charlie Lindgren got his feet wet in the tournament, and that's a good thing too. So they've got 3 goaltenders who have seen action. That's all good, and the U.S. is in a good spot heading into the medal round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best players of each team will be awarded by
So next up, player of the game from each team, and then the top 3 players of the tournament for Latvia. And we know now Slovakia is in. They are into the quarterfinals for sure. So our next game, Sweden-Slovakia. Big picture won't mean anything.
And Dwayne Dillinger, Vice President of International USA Hockey. Best player of Team Latvia, number 55, Robert Momchis.
He had a great tournament too. Not just this game. He had a great tournament.
Yeah. Big man, defended, and he scored some goals.
Best player of Team United States, number 12, Matt Boldy.
I might have voted for the Caufield kid, but Boldy's had a great tournament and another great game too.
Yeah. Either way. And they're on different lines, and that bodes well for the U.S.
Yep.
Boldy playing with Nelson and Gaudreau, Kachuk with Pinto and Caufield.
So now the 3 best players for Latvia. So we know Sweden's going to take on Finland in a quarterfinal. We know Slovakia is going to take on Canada. And we will have the final matchups decided tonight. That's a big game over in Prague that'll decide that.
The 3 best players of Team Latvia are number 50, Kristas Gudlewskis, number 16.
They're choosing the 3 best players for Latvia for the tournament. Gudlewskis, the goaltender who battled so hard, especially last game.
Bulls and Dogovic. Dogovic, 2 overtime winners in his career in Czechia. It was here in 2015. 4 overtime winners for Dogovic. I mean, you talk about a gamer.
Yeah.
He's that guy. So it'll be the American national anthem, and we got one more game for you tonight. It'll be Sweden, Slovakia, as we wrap up group play at the World Hockey Championship.
The national anthem of the United States. Thank you. And thank you for being part of the 2024 IIHF Championship. Before we go, have a quick introduction to the action and all of the 2024 IIHF Championship will welcome you to play with us for 2022. Sweden against Latvia. Welcome to all of you. Enhance your experience and stay at the heart of the game.
Before this game, you knew you already had a spot locked up in the quarterfinal, but your head coach, John Hines, said this was a good chance to get pushed. How was this a nice challenge before that?
Well, we knew the atmosphere was going to be really loud. It was going to be something that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the tournament. And the fans were really loud. And besides that, Latvia's a really good team, and they have a really good track record against us. So we knew it'd be a challenge, and we knew we couldn't let them hang around, and we did a little bit. So that's why they kind of got back in the game there, and we were able to close it out, though. You bring up that track record. You were the only player on Team USA last year. You lost to Latvia. How did this feel for payback for that bronze medal loss? Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. It's kind of a bit of a rivalry here at World Championships with them. They play really hard against us, and they're not fun to play against. So we try to do the same thing to them. When you reflect on your team and just how you've grown since that first game against Sweden, how do you feel like you're set up for the quarterfinals? Yeah, I mean, even after that game in Sweden, I was more optimistic about our team than even before that game. I thought we played a really, really good NHL team in the Swedish players, and throughout the tournament, we've been able to build a lot of chemistry throughout the lineup, up and down, and starting to trust each other and our staff, and everyone's kind of coming together. Thanks, Mikey. Yeah, thank you. Caspers, I know this is a very passionate team, and I could see the disappointment on your faces as you know that you won't be moving forward. How does this feel? Well, obviously, we were expecting to be in quarterfinals, but
I'm just proud of the guys. We never gave up, and we had some tough situations in this tournament. 3 back-to-back games, but we always kept battling, and all the way till the last day we gave ourselves a chance. And obviously US has an amazing team this year, and they showed it. Like, you make a couple of mistakes and they punish you.
What's the challenge of coming in as the defending bronze medalists and not reaching that again?
I don't want to compare 2 years at all, like, because last year we had a complete different team, and I'm just proud of, like, we had 7 guys that played first-time World Championships, and they battled like crazy, and we still had a chance, and they're going to get experience, and it's going to be great for our team.
As one of the veterans, how bright does the future look for your team, and how far has it come since you started playing?
Well, every year we have to prove it again, and we have some good young talent, and as long as they're going to get this experience, like, we're going to get better.
And then, if you can answer this one in Latvian, how hard is this loss today and not moving forward to the quarterfinal?
Protams, kad ir grūti pieņemt, ka nebūsim ceturdaļfinālā pēc pagājušā gada, bet slepns par džekiem, ka cīnījās līdz galam. Jebkurā situācijā mēs atdevām sev visu, un raksturs bija komandai, tā kā cepur nost visiem.
Spasiba.
Thank you.